Hi guys, and welcome to the 14-day Grapple Machine Challenge. First of all, big thank you for being here in the group, and I'm really hoping over the next couple of weeks I can help you achieve some pretty cool stuff. First of all, my name's Tom, and I'm going to be coaching you guys. The idea of this challenge really is to familiarise you with strength training for grappling and to really crystallise to you why I think it's so important and integral to your progress on the mats, in competition, and your general martial arts journey. I'm also going to be covering a lot of the pitfalls, mistakes, misconceptions, errors, etc. that you may have. And I know a lot about these because I've had them all myself over the last 10-15 years in my training. And I want to make sure that you avoid them and you get the smoothest possible transition and progress in your training. So a little bit about me. I started in martial arts as a child. I started in judo, and I also then moved over to combat jiu-jitsu, which is Japanese jiu-jitsu. And I was very lucky that we weren't too traditional. We actually spent a lot of time doing sparring, a lot of grappling, striking, etc. And I built up to a first degree black belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu. Around my late teens, early 20s, I transitioned across to mixed martial arts, and I started training that very regularly. I competed 13 times at amateur level. And then sort of a few years after I started MMA, I really started to gravitate towards submission grappling. And I've had absolutely countless matches there, all the way through the belt levels. And I currently hold a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt under Ashley Williams. It was around the time that I started doing mixed martial arts and I started to do a lot more sparring and a lot more contact training that I first identified a kind of problem that I had. I basically felt like I was very lucky because I had trained since I was a child. A lot of the other beginners in sort of beginner martial arts classes, mixed martial arts classes, I felt like I kind of had more skill than them. I was also one of those guys that really got stuck into warm-up, so I felt I had good fitness as well. And so, you know, a lot of the time I did pretty well in class, I did pretty well in sparring, but a big majority of the time I also kind of get trapped underneath people. I felt like I got pinned down a lot. I struggled to get out from underneath people, even though I knew some of the technical ways to get out, I just couldn't. And the other big frustration I had was getting to good positions, like good positions for submissions and attacks, and not being able to finish them. So things like getting a squeeze on and not quite being able to finish it, or having my arm pulled away from the choke, or getting things like a Kimura lock on and just not being able to physically pull the arms out. And it was all really against those kind of like bigger, stronger guys. And so I was really frustrated because I felt like I put lots of time into my technique and my skill, and I was just missing something. And it didn't take me long to identify maybe I should start lifting and try and improve my strength. So first thing I did, like as most of us probably done, I started chatting to my mates that lifted. I started getting some tips and advice from them. And over the course of the next few years, I tried little bits of everything really. I tried powerlifting formats. I tried things like 5-3-1 and starting strength. I tried bodybuilding programs. I tried some Olympic lifting. I basically tried a lot of everything. Calisthenics, pretty much you name it, I tried it. And the good thing was I did get some breakthroughs. I did feel like in class I could start to move people around a little bit more. I could start pulling out some of the submissions that I couldn't previously. And so I did get some successes. But I started to get kind of like a decision paralysis. And what it's manifested in is, whilst I was kind of doing well in class, I'd get a few weeks, get a few good sequences together, I'd see some progress, I'd keep following, say, my powerlifting. As soon as I hit a wall and I felt like somebody had got the better of me, they had pinned me down, they had kind of outmaneuvered me, I felt like, that program's not working, I need to try something else. And I'd start trying my Olympic lifting for a while. And I ended up doing quite a lot of program hopping. The issue with this was I never really knew what was working for me and what wasn't working for me, and where to draw the line between what was skill-based and what was kind of athleticism-based or asset-based. And it wasn't really until the last 5 years that it really clicked for me. I didn't need to be a powerlifter, I didn't need to be a bodybuilder or an Olympic lifter, a CrossFitter. I needed to be a grappler, and I needed to be training in the gym with the type of techniques and type of training that enhanced my grappling. And that's really what I did. So over the last 5 years, I've dove in loads to the evidence-based training community, lots of the scientific backed research, but also into lots of old school training methods from some of the great grapplers, wrestlers, you know, of times gone by. And I found that combining lots of these methods together, I found a system that worked really well for me. I started to become the guy in class that people were like, oh, that guy's strong, that guy's the strong guy. I started managing to lift people up, pick them up, throw them, slam them, squeeze submissions, pull arms out that I couldn't before. I started to get a lot of success, and I really felt like my skill in the gym was backed up by my attributes for the first time really ever. Something else happened as well, which was I actually got in good shape. Previously, I always felt like I was okay, like I wasn't too under or overweight, but I really didn't feel like I had much muscle mass, much shape to my body. And following this type of programming, I really saw enhancements there. Previously, when I was younger, like I just felt like everyone in the gym that got the better of me, that was stronger than me, that was better than me, must be on steroids. And it was a little bit of naivety and probably a little bit of jealousy on my part. I just wasn't training in the right way. Since I've trained the right way, I've even got my own steroid accusations, which was a big bonus for me. I was like, I finally made it. But yeah, so flash forward now to kind of current times. I probably spend the least time in the gym physically training than I ever have. I feel like I get the most results out of it. And I feel like my grappling is probably at its best ever. I feel like I can use and learn new skills and start applying them straight away. I'm not getting stuck under big heavy guys. I'm not getting thrown around as much. And to give you some idea, guys, I'm about 80 kilos. I'm right in the middle. I'm not a super heavy guy, but I can still hang with those guys, and I still feel like I've got the speed and athleticism to train with the lower and lighter weight guys as well. Once I had worked out this formula and I knew it was effective, then the next logical step was to obviously start working with clients and apply this system to them. And I had some amazing results. These are just a few of the pictures of some of the guys I've worked with to improve their body composition, their strength, their speed, their power, and they've really seen that performance on the mats as well. So in the next 14 days, it's really my goal to take you on a crash course through that journey and to really start to knock down some myths, to drop in some advice and hope to set you up on your pathway to really enhancing your grappling.